Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm coming back after a little hiatus to bring you brand new discs. This is the Divergent Discs 3-driver booster set. 3 drivers in here, the Lowin, the Minotaur, and the Tianak. So let's crack these open, give them some throws, and maybe throw them on some holes, and then bring you my final thoughts on this brand new set. Let's get into it.
Okay, so the booster set comes with 3 drivers, hence the 3-driver booster set. Starting with the fastest is the Lowin. I don't know. Flight ratings are 12.5, -2.2 is what they say. They also say it's supposed to be a more stable Basilisk. Looking at this thing, it looks almost exactly like the Basilisk. So, super domey, pretty wide rim. I expect this to be really flippy. Next up is the Minotaur. This is honestly my favorite feeling of the bunch. It's a little bit flatter, but it's still got a pretty pronounced dome. So flight ratings of 8.304, so it'll be pretty overstable, but with this dome it's going to have some nice glide, making it great for beginner players who are looking for that overstable distance. Finally, it's the Tianak. Comment below if you think that I'm pronouncing that right. This is an 8.5 -4.1 disc. Also very domey. Feels kind of like the Basilisk, just with a much more narrow rim. So those are the discs in the set. I'm going to throw them in this field a little bit at lower power to try to imitate what a beginner's arm speed will look like. And you can see if these discs are right for you. So the basket's probably about, I don't know, 250 away. I'm gonna take some shots at it. A little more stable than I thought. Let's go to the Minotaur. Nice stability on that one. I really like how it feels, and I like how it comes out of the hand. That one's a good one. Lastly, the Tianak. I say it different every time. So that one glides for ages. Kind of flippy, but that was on a decently slow arm speed. That's going to carry a long ways for beginner players, which is super awesome for anybody who's looking for more aerodynamic discs to make their distance better, but they still got slower arm speed. So I'm going to collect them, throw this way now. All right, so now we're throwing that way. We got a little bit more of a tailwind, so that should really help the discs fly. Kind of aiming for the sign over there. That looks to be about 250, 275 feet. Again, starting with the Lowin. Pretty flippy. Minotaur. That was the basket, that's parked. All right, lastly, the Tianak. Okay, so I may have said that I was going to wrap it up after playing hole 1, but I feel like I haven't showed you exactly what these discs can do. So I'm gonna throw them from here down towards that tree, which is probably sitting at about 300 feet, which is kind of what these discs are designed to fly at, is up to that point, kind of around 300 feet. I'm going to try to give it the best flights I possibly can so you can really see what these discs can do. It's funny when that thing decides to act stable. I don't know why. it's interesting. All right, TNX. That thing has effortless distance. I think that one is probably going to be the best one for beginners, based on the ones that I felt. It's more comfortable to hold than the Basilisk and the Lowin, and it really, really glides really, really well. So I think that one is going to be the best one for you if you're a beginner. Last but not least, I'm going to throw the Minotaur. Out of all of them, the Minotaur is definitely my favorite. It flies really fast, honestly, for being an 8-speed. It feels pretty comfortable in the hand. It glides nicely, but it has a lot of stability. I could put that on the Anheuser, and it's going to be fighting out of it the entire way, but still go probably, I would say, over 300, 350 is I think what I got it on earlier. That one's probably my favorite, but I'm going to go throw some fun shots, and then we will go talk about it. Let's start with the TNX. The question, will it Skamahawk? The answer is yes. I don't know if you were able to see it, but it didn't quite flip back to the leading edge. It kind of landed, kind of panned a little bit. So I think that might mean it's a little bit more stable. I'm not entirely sure. All right, Lowin. That also will Skamahawk. Similar deal, it didn't quite make it back to the leading edge. Where it might spike if the ground was soft enough. Had a little bit of pan. There is no situation in which I would throw that shot, but it's fun to know that I can. I do not have the arm speed of Simon Lizotte, so that should hopefully tell you how flippy those discs are when thrown on a Skamahawk angle. All right, lastly, it's the Minotaur. Just gonna see how far I can throw this guy. That would have gone pretty far if it weren't for the tree. That thing started flipping, which shows that, you know, it might have a little bit of turn if you have pretty high arm speed and a pretty fast headwind. So that disc has got some maneuverability. You can work it if you're around my arm speed. Super fun disc. That one might make the bag. So let's go to the car and wrap it up.
All right, time to talk about the Divergent Discs 3 driver booster set. First, the feel. The Divergent plastic is really comfortable. It's got a nice grip, but it also has a really premium feel. As far as I know, it dies really well. I haven't tried to dye one yet, but I've heard that it dies really well. So as far as the plastic goes, it's a good plastic. It's pretty grippy, pretty rubbery, but also very premium. So great plastic for the value, especially. Okay, along those lines, the feel. I had some complaints about the Basilisk and its feel. This is not the Basilisk, this is the Lowin. Very similar profile to the Basilisk. So my complaints about the Lowin are primarily feel. I have some subjective complaints about flight, but that's just based on where I'm at as a player and not what this disc was designed to do. So I personally would not throw this one, but it's a perfect disc for people who are trying to get that added distance without having to try a super overstable fast speed disc like a Destroyer. So for what it is, for beginners, great disc. The feel's a little bit weird, so as a beginner, if you're a beginner, be wary of that. Moving on to the TNX. Still haven't pronounced it right. I am 99% sure of that. This disc, I think, is going to be the best of the set for beginner players. This disc has glide, but it also kind of pans out a little bit. The Lowen, when I threw it on full speed, didn't do what this disc does, and that is stable up just a little bit. It still carries really far to the right, it still glides, but this gave me way more distance on almost all of my max power throws than the Lowen, and it's supposed to be more understable. So this one is also more comfortable because it's a more narrow rim. Very similar profile, just a more narrow rim. Honestly, it's pretty comfortable even with the massive amount of dome. It's pretty grippy. Definitely one that beginners should gravitate towards. This one is pretty awesome with very little effort. All right, lastly, to my personal favorite, the Minotaur. This disc is a little bit wider than the others. It's more of a mid-range width, which is really interesting. I really like the profile. It's got a very aggressive overstable wing, but it's also got a lot of dome, if you can tell right there. So this disc is flying super far for me, even though it was super beefy. So this is going to be a perfect Firebird like disc, maybe even like a max or tilt like disc for people who are a little bit new. Also, 6 stamp. Minotaur, super awesome. I might be bagging this one, I'm not sure yet. I'll give it some more throws, but this thing flies about as far as a 10 speed for me, with only an 8 speed. So lots of glide, lots of fade, awesome disc. So final thoughts overall. Great value for the drivers. It really opens up what Divergent has to offer, and hopefully those beginner players should gravitate towards these instead of the Destroyers or the Zeuses, Bosses, whatever you have. If you are looking into one of those discs as a beginner, try these out first. They're cheaper and they're going to do more for you, in my opinion. So I highly recommend this set if you're a beginner. If you're looking for some fun utility discs and you're kind of around that intermediate recreational level, the Lowen and the Tianok are going to be kind of fun for you, but you're going to get the most use out of the Minotaur. So a little something for everybody. Again, great set from Divergent. Go check it out. I will leave a link to it down below for the Amazon link. Huge thanks to them for letting me be part of their tester team. So thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below which one you think is going to be the best disc out of the set. And if you have the set, let me know how you like it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.